a day where some of the ice bags start to come out and everything. How's everyone feeling? How's everyone holding up?
Everybody's doing pretty good. You're 100% correct. Guys are starting to feel the bumps and the bruises from the practices that we've had. But I give our guys credit, man. They've been locked in. They're trying to pay attention to the details and trying to be present all the time. They're playing extremely hard. You feel they're connected and they're starting to get it. And I also give my coaching staff a lot of credit. They've done a fantastic job, not only throughout the course of summertime, but through the early stages of training camp. My staff has been really, really good. They've been on top of it, and I think they're only going to get better, just like the players are.
Is there anything these guys are asking to do or wanting to do more of, or you're taking a concept and say, I want to work on this more, I enjoy doing this? Is there anything specific that they like doing?
They like playing, and the drill work, they understand it's a necessary evil, but they've been good with it. And so we're going to try to continue to get them opportunities to play more so that they can work on their game conditioning, while trying to still sprinkle in some breakdowns to where we do drill work or stations, as we call them. So the guys have been good. Whatever we've thrown at them, they've been gracious enough to accept and try to execute at a high level.
Over the years that you've been here, there's been opportunity with your specifically wing depth for guys if they play hard and they hustle and they work hard. You're doing the dirty work, like Daniels was telling us. But the offensive side is important too. When you're looking for someone who gives that emphasis on the defensive end, what do you need from them offensively to keep them, I guess, on the court so they can do that?
One of our staples is attacking the offensive glass. And so not only if they go every single time when they're in the right position, but if they go and get a hand on it, that's something that can really, really stand out. And Trey was big for us last year. I think he was by far, Keegan was too, but Trey, in terms of subs, he was probably our best crash guy. And on top of him crashing, he got his hand on the basketball, so that's huge. Running the floor. We have the fastest guy in the game in Fox. We have probably the best passing big man arguably in the game, or at least one of two or maybe three in Domas. And so these guys are going to get you the ball, and we're emphasizing the throw-ahead pass or the kick-ahead pass from the back court to the front court. So get to the corners. Do your darndest to get to the corners, flatten the defense out, create that space so a guy like Fox can attack before the defense is set, and now you're going to get a catch-and-shoot horse shot because he's going to get off of it. So crashing the glass, running the floor, cutting the score, everything you do, it's emphasized with a hard movement in order to score, or when you touch that paint, to create a tag from the weak side so your teammates can get open. You do those things and you're going to have a chance to get on the floor, especially if you're defending at a high level.
We saw a glimpse yesterday of your scrimmage, and we anticipate the DHO game is still going to be an important part of what you do. We saw it with Derozan and Sabonis, led to a key on three. So specifically with Derozan, what do you think the potential is with that DHO game with him and Sabonis?
I tell you what, it can be off the charts, and mainly because of DeMar's ability to pass the basketball. I said this before. You think that, okay, hey, he's a guy that's going to ISO on that long post area, or he's going to ISO right off the elbow. But man, he can bring it in transition. He can play the pick and roll game, and now the DHO game is a different element to where he may not be easily blitzed if he has it going. And so once he gets that ball, if you go under and Domas does the DHO low enough, it's a wrap. If you chase him over and he gets to a sweet spot, it's a wrap in terms of scoring. But his added ability of playmaking, whether it's hitting Domas in the pocket or because of who he is, the gravity of him touching the paint and drawing somebody else, his ability to spray the basketball, it can be really good for us.
Is there a perfect world situation? I mean, I know there's teams that are starting preseason games tonight after just a few days. In your mind, if you're constructing your perfect plan, when would you like to see your first opposition in terms of preseason size?
I like the way our schedule is right now. We've had, I don't know, we've been twice already, so we've practice was a 6 for us maybe, something like that. And so for us to be where we are right now, we're going to come in, we're going to scrimmage amongst ourselves tomorrow. We're going to treat it like a game. We'll give them Sunday off. And then have a couple more practices before our first preseason game. I like how the schedule is, and by the time that first preseason game comes around, our guys will really be chomping at the bit to go play somebody else, and so it'll be a good thing for all of us to see another colored jersey.
Do they grow tired of beating up on each other, and how much do you like seeing that from them, especially when you're emphasizing physicality?
Yeah, they get tired of it, and sometimes it can get a little chippy, which you like as a coach. You don't want anybody to just keep getting hit and not say anything. You want somebody to say something or stand up to whoever's doing whatever they're doing and say something back to let them know, hey, I'm here. Not just on the floor, but I'm here verbally too. And I'm gonna keep coming. That little thing ain't gonna stop me from coming. So you like that. They're not to a point yet where they want to see another jersey, but it's gonna come sooner than later.
Say, Mike, I want to ask you this question. I haven't been here for the last couple of practices, though, but I know the slack.
You getting fined?
I'll accept it. I'll pay it as long as he's going to charity.
Okay.
But like last season, you always emphasized that you always want to keep either DeMontis or De'Aaron on the floor in that second unit. Now you have more options with DeMar. Is that something that you and your coaching staff been looking at, as far as changing that dynamic?
Yeah, you have the luxury now of keeping 2 of the 3 guys on there, and then you throw in a guy like Keegan, you throw in a guy like Malik, and it really adds to what you can do when you're going to your subs on the bench. And so you're conscious of it, but I haven't really sat down with a minute sheet yet and said, hey, this is what I'm going to do. So it definitely does add more excitement to the table when you're talking about the different teams you can put out there.
Mike, you mentioned that sometimes you have a coach go out with Devin from drill to drill.
Yeah.
Obviously, so he can see what's going on. But how important is it, as part of that, to also keep him involved with the team rather than isolate away during his read, so he still feels a big part of it?
It's extremely important because, in our business, when you're removed from the team, it could be a lonely feeling, and you can feel like people have forgotten about you. But our coaches found a little thing on him online where when he signed his rookie deal, they had cameras following him around, and he went to Mercedes-Benz dealership, and then he went to a jewelry store, and you look at all this bling bling, and he's talking about a Maybach and all this, and oh my gosh, our veterans, especially DeMar, are like, you just got your first deal, rookie. Keep that money in your pocket, And so to be able to do stuff like that, to get him or to make him feel engaged still is definitely a big thing, not just for him, but for all of our guys that are injured.
Mike, you've had a couple of days to look at the back end of the roster. Where are you at with that 14, 15 spot? Is there anyone who's standing out that maybe has separated themselves a little bit?
I tell you what, Monty and Wes have done a great job of getting guys in training camp that have a great feel for the game, that are good guys, that are going to play hard, and that where we don't have to spend a lot of extra time with their attitude or even trying to teach them because they're in here all the time and or they pick it up very easily. So, a lot of guys are making their presence shown. I thought Isaiah did a great job, and he's on a two-way deal, but he did a great job today hitting the glass. Isaac did a great job hitting the glass, and not only that, both those guys, they knocked down a couple of catch-and-shoot threes, and then they were great defensively. Terry is, man, he's about as tough as they come, and his physical presence on the floor, whether it's offensive rebounding and or defending, is second to none for a young guy. Broderick's a guy that picked up the stuff really easily. Scal has shown that he's a worthy vet in being here. So and I'm not trying to be quote unquote political about it, but every guy we've talked as a staff, we've almost talked about every guy at different times after practices that just kind of made us raise our eyebrows and go, okay, he's adding to camp. Now at the end of the day, will he make the team, or will he be in the G League, or will that happen? This or that happen? I don't know, but you feel good about the guys that we have in camp right now and the progress, not only that they're making, but how they're helping push all of the guys in front of them.
Mike, I know obviously these guys are spending a lot of time together in here, getting their work in on the floor. Do you know of any of them spending personal time together and the team bonding outside of the gym and outside of the facility?
I mean, I don't know. I'm sure they do. I like Malik. Anytime he goes golfing, it seems like Keegan is with him. So I'm sure they are, but I don't know.
Thanks, everyone.